Hello friends, today I'm here to share with you another last 10 books that I read. I was really struggling through the first part of the year. 5-star reads. Feel like I'm pretty generous with my 5-star ratings, and I just couldn't find anything. But we have fixed that with these last 10 books. There are 5-star books in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first one is My Darling Duke by Stacy Reid. This was definitely a 5-star. This is about Kitty, her family's going through some troubles. I think it was like a financial situation with her dad. So she decides she's going to say that she is engaged to this Duke who, what's the word? He doesn't come to London hardly ever. So she says that she's engaged to him because she doesn't think anybody will pay attention to it. Nobody seems to care about him. So she's just going to say she's engaged, and then it'll help her sisters find better prospects for marriage. But what Kitty doesn't plan on is, what was his name? Alexander, the Duke of Thornton. She doesn't plan on him actually finding out and coming to London to meet her. Yes, I highly recommend this. If you like historical romances at all, I think you will really enjoy this one. The next 3 books I have a series reading vlog on, and that is the Ravenwood Series by Talia Hibbert. I gave all of these 3 stars. If you want more in-depth thoughts on that, you can definitely go check out the reading vlog. Book 1, A Girl Like Her. Book 2, Untouchable. And book 3, That Kind of Guy. All 3 stars. Did really like them. The characters weren't necessarily for me. Then I read a book on Kindle Unlimited for the Black Author Readathon. It was called Black Witch Magic by Mila Nix. I gave this one 4 stars. It's about a witch who, thanks to her grandmother, the women in their family are cursed to, not be able to leave this small town. And so, excuse me. So she works in the library. She lives in the house that her grandmother and her mother both lived in. And she has, a little coven with her best friend, and I think it's her best friend's aunt. Somebody in her best friend's family. And they are just kind of living their life. And then this guy comes into town, and it was kind of like an Uber. The girl and the guy, end up with the same Uber match. And he is a paranormal hunter who starts to have a crush on this witch. And yes, it was so good. I really liked it. I guess I didn't realize going into it that it was the start to a series about both of them joining together to do paranormal hunting. And the reason I gave it 4 stars is because I didn't realize that, and then it had a lot of build up to, or it had a lot of kind of backstory to build up to that series. And that was just something that I didn't know, so yeah. Another 5-star read is Dancing with Danger by Kerrigan Byrne. This is book 3 in her Good Girl series. This one is Mercy, and I'm going to call him Raphael because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I felt like I was saying it wrong every time I read it. So they're at a crime scene, and they end up in the same carriage on the way to jail. Excuse me. But he actually escapes and leaves her there. And she's really pissed off that he left her in this carriage to end up at the jail. But she sees him again and kind of calls him out on it. And he's like, well, I knew your family would save you. Because you're a rich family. You're fine. So I don't know. That was totally besides the point. I just really liked that. So they are they're not really working together, but a mutual a mutual friend of theirs has died and they both think she was murdered. So they're kind of like trying to figure out who murdered her. And Raphael asks for one night with Mercy, and then that will be enough. They will be out of each other's systems, whatever. So they have that night together, and then she finds out that he's basically going to sacrifice himself and sacrifice his life so that his brother can start anew, because they're like criminal mastermind type situation. I don't know exactly what it is. But a lot of the Good Girls, like, the Good Girls series is so short. I think this one's, like, just over 200 pages, like 205, 206. Most of them I have thought have been way too short for the story that needed to be told, but I thought this one was perfect. I thought it was so, so good. Then I switched over to the Hush Note series and read Riffs and Refrains by Deputy Perry. I gave this one 4 stars. This is about Quinn, who is the drummer for the group Hush Note. The series is about a rock band. At the beginning of the book, she finds out that she needs to go back to her hometown for a funeral, and she re-meets the boyfriend that she had in high school, who, when she didn't leave on the best of terms with her family. And so when she left and didn't come back, and so she left him there. But yes, this is a second chance romance. I gave it 4 stars. I had an issue with the hero in this one. I understand that you were upset she left you or whatever, but that is no reason for you to be a jerk about her being in a band with 2 other guys. He kept asking her if she was sleeping with either one of them, and at one point they were having an argument, and he asked her if she stopped fucking them, would they kick her out of the band? And I was like, no, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You are not... He was supposed to be this, like, nice small town guy, and I was like, no, that's a douche thing to say. So... And then, because I liked that book a lot, other than that hero and this like 2 or 3 I think he said it like 2 times. Yeah. Anyway, I liked the book, so I wanted to finish the series, and the 3rd book is Muses and Melodies by Rebecca Yarros. This book was a 5-star read. This is Nixon, who at the end of book 2, or throughout books 1 and 2, he's had a bit of an addiction problem, and at the end of book 2, he, like, steals Quinn's plane and says he's going to rehab so that she's got to stay in the small town, but he does go to rehab, and in this one, he's just gotten out, and so everybody is worried about him relapsing and doesn't know what to do to help him. So, I think it's the record company. Maybe it's the agent. Maybe it was the agent. I don't remember. Somebody decides that their assistant is going to live with Nixon to, like, keep him on track, make sure he's getting the help he needs, like, helping him, basically. I don't know why that was so complicated to say. So Zoe, who is the assistant, ends up moving in with Nixon, and then he's finding it really difficult to focus on his sobriety, being in the place that his own apartment where all of the vices have been. So he basically surprises her and books a trip to her hometown, and they go to this little mountain town in Colorado, which I think is the same mountain town in Rebecca Yarros' series about firefighters. I need to read that series, but a lot of my family have been firefighters at one point, and a couple of them still are, and I feel like that book will wreck me because it's Rebecca Yarros, and she likes to do that to us. I'm gonna get it at some point, but the book is also like $22, so maybe I should ask for it for my birthday. That's not the point. Anyway, he surprises Zoe with a trip to her hometown, and they go there and kind of live, not really off the grid, but kind of like out of the public eye, and I loved this so much. So they kind of start to have feelings for each other. They kind of start hooking up, and then they go so Nixon can play a show with the band. And they kind of get into an argument. I forget exactly what the argument was over. But basically he kind of like breaks up with her and then won't talk to her until he's hit the 1 year sober mark, which is, I don't know for sure, but they mentioned something in here. Apparently it's recommended not to start new relationships as soon as you're getting sober, which I understand. They mentioned it in here, kind of like trading one addiction for a relationship. So I understand that, but I really liked that he was very adamant that he was not going to pursue anything else with her until he knew that he could handle it, until he knew that it wasn't a new addiction to her. I loved this so much. Rebecca Yarros is so good. She's so, so good. I don't know how she does it, but yes. And then I started another series for a reading vlog, which hopefully you will be seeing within the next 1 or 2 videos. I started the Scandalous Highlander series by Suzanne Enoch. Book 1 is The Devil Wears Kilts. I gave this one 5 stars. Loved it. And book 2 is Rogue with a Brogue. I gave this one 5 stars, and I loved it. So, Scandalous Highlander series. Look out for that vlog coming soon. So that is the last 10 books that I read. Let me know about the books that I do reading vlogs on. Do you like hearing about them again in wrap-up videos, or do you just, like, I don't know how to do it. Like, do I share what it's about? Do I share my feelings? Do I share both? Do I share neither? Let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!